Welcome to the Dmytryk Law Firm YouTube channel.
Why does bail matter, and what practical things should be taken into account?
So bail matters on multiple levels. It makes everybody's life easier, it makes attorneys' job easier, and oftentimes it improves the chances of success of the case. So obviously, level one is the defendant gets to go home, gets to live a normal life. That's really good for the defendant's mental health, and it also allows them to pool the resources to fight off the case. On level number two, it makes our job as defense attorneys a lot easier in a way that prepares the case for further adjudication. So let's contrast, for example, if we have to go visit the client in jail, how much work it is and how many things can go wrong. So let's say I want to go visit the client in jail. I want to bring my laptop with some evidence on it, show the client the pictures and maybe some reports that are not protected by the protective order. Anyways, show the client the evidence that we have against them. It takes additional work just to bring the laptop in most jails, and every jail has its own policy on it, by the way. Sometimes it's easier to just print everything out and bring like a whole stack of papers rather than bring a laptop. But sometimes you really need to show the client the videos, because the government has the videos against them. And as an attorney, we have to go and show the client the evidence against them to allow them a meaningful defense and to have a meaningful discussion of the case. So usually we have to submit requests for clearance of those laptops, and that takes several days, and that's assuming that, for example, the request does not get lost somewhere, it does not get forgotten, that it gets responded properly. But luckily, for example, we cleared everything and we get to bring the laptop in. We've already lost several days, right? Which is not good. And there are only so many times we can easily visit the client, right? It's a lot easier for the client to schedule time to come to the attorney's office to discuss the case, to maybe bring some new evidence, or to maybe take another look at the existing evidence and say, oh, this detail here, I did not notice it last time, but it's important because it goes to this this and that charge. Right? In jail, you often don't have this luxury because attorneys cannot be visiting clients in jail frequently. It's so very time consuming. Also, with many of our clients who are Chinese speaking, that's another layer of limitations. We have to either bring an interpreter with us, and getting an interpreter into jail requires additional clearances, right? Things need to be submitted for background checks that attorneys don't have to submit. Or an attorney has to be Mandarin speaking, but sometimes the best attorneys who are experts in a certain type of cases are not Mandarin speaking. And so if a client remains locked up on bail, it just makes the work on the case so much harder and allows the client less benefit of good defense. So there's that layer for us as defense attorneys working the case. And then the third consideration I would say is that when someone is out on bail, we don't have to rush the case, right? You're not sitting in jail and suffering every day. We don't have to rush the case. That means we have more time to work on it. That means we can find additional witnesses. That means we can hire an investigator to go and interview the available witnesses. We get to poke additional holes in the story, and we get to have time to carefully review all the evidence, time we might not necessarily have if the person is in jail and we're on the speedy trial schedule, which is usually the case. So it does give us a lot of additional time. And then once we've gone through all the evidence, we also have a little bit additional time to negotiate a good deal if we don't think it's necessarily a good idea to go to trial. Good negotiation does take time, and it really benefits us if a person is out and we don't have to rush with negotiations. We can take an extra hearing, we can do 2 extra hearings, we can enroll the defendant in some kind of program to attend, something that would not be possible when the defendant is in jail. But the defendant can attend the program, and we can come to the negotiating table with the DA with confirmation that, look, mitigation is being done. The person is trying to improve himself or herself and prevent similar accusations from taking place in the future. And that greatly improves our position in negotiating a deal if going to trial is not a beneficial thing for the client.